Greetings, my friends. I'm Gilles Montillon. I thought I come and say hello, wish you a good day. I hope you're enjoying this time, this portal. It's opened up yesterday, this 11:11. But it will never, and once you open it, it will never close. It's just there is an important download. Yesterday, the day went fly by. I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning. The next time I looked at my watch, it was 5:30 p.m. and it was like I didn't see the day pass yet. The day before, I thought it was 6 p.m. It was only noon. So some days the times go really fast, and some days the time go really close, really slowly. So it's all we all in this. Transition phase that will lead us to this new energy. I'm very excited about this new timeline. We continue to cultivate the sense of connection to the vertical axis, the pillar of light. That's the divine, universal, omnidimensional access of our I am presence, while we are still also conscious of the vertical axis, the cross of matter, where time flows eternally forwards through the process of change. So we need to control or allow the divine timeline to come into being by doing what we can to stay in alignment. And so there is a new lifestyle that is ahead, new habits, new feelings, new situation, new circumstances. Yet old habits are sometimes they have a hard time dying out. The older we are, the more difficult it is to change our habits. When you're young, when you're a child, you change your life, you recreate your life every day, and but then the more the habits are anchored, the more difficult it is to change them. So we just need to learn to surrender and replace old and healthy habit by good healthy habit. That's really what I see is coming before us. We have to maintain a stable presence, a stable light presence. It's very important it's like a radio frequency. Once we discover a frequency, we discover an energy, we can always tune back into it. And so, because when we live in the invisible world, when we live in the physical world, sometimes we long to be in the non-physical, where we can actually enjoy so much more without the weight of cellular memories. But then once we get there, we see the whole picture, and we often want to come back into the physical to complete certain experiences. So because there's three forces that are always in action in our, more or less, in our consciousness, which is the subconscious, the conscious, and the supraconscious. Eventually, we're going to activate within our consciousness the supraconscious of illumination. But the subconscious is a very powerful force. For anybody who's done hypnosis know how powerful the subconscious is. It is all the past. It doesn't know anything about the future, yet the past is really anchored. So we want to continue to cleanse our subconscious, to send love into all the situations of our past, so from our consciousness. And the supraconscious is really, the superconscious is really the gamma rays that comes down from our guidance, supreme intelligence, to allow ourselves to be guided by supreme intelligence in order to learn to navigate the inner planes while directing the flow of eternal manifestation, to stay focalized on what timeline we want to align with. So it's important to stay humble, to stay authentic, to stay simple, to stay light, and to know that we do not know. That's the great wisdom of a master named Socrates. He said, I have one certainty, is that I do not know. That made him the wisest man on earth, as the Apollon gave as an oracle in one of the book of Plato. It says, because Socrates was really wondering why was he the wisest man in Greece, while he knew that he did not know anything. And so he went around all of Greece trying to find all the wise men. And at the end, Apollo told him that the wisdom of mortal man is so little that knowing that he doesn't know makes him wiser than those who believe he knows. It's also the wisdom of the goddess Nuit, who brings about the darkness so they can reveal the stars. For if it wasn't the night, we would have never discovered the stars beyond that there was other sun in the universe. The light of the sun is so powerful that we would never be able to integrate that. So there's still a lot to discover, mysteries of discovering in relationship to our eternal, divine, cosmic, and universal nature. And so I'm very understand that we cannot please everyone. There will always be people that oppose us, or disagree with us, which is okay. But it's good to be able to keep the people in our environment happy, our friends, our lovers, our family, our partners, or to keep people happy, to keep the balance in things, within all our environment. Because there was this story that when the Christ came in, Joshua, he was in his light body, and he was like so overwhelmed. His love and power was overwhelming to all those who met him. For even now, if you meet anybody who's met the Christ, can verify, can know. You just got to call on him. He will come to see you, and the power of his love and his light will transform. It's a transformative power. And when he, at some point he had to leave the earth, the physicality of the earth, at the time of crucifixion, and for 3 days he was completely gone from the planet, from the energy of the planet, and all his apostles completely betrayed him. It's not because they were disloyal to him; it's because they were so used to have this light, to benefit from the light of the light body of the Christ, of Jesus. And so, because they didn't have their own light body developed, so it's important. Everybody, we can assist each other in bringing light to one another. Yet we all have to individually to continue to cultivate our sense of connection and develop our inner light. And so, and open yourself to the world when you see and feel that it is appropriate. So we're going to be able to replace all kinds of unhealthy habit by healthy habit. And so personally, I have an immense gratitude to all my guide, my higher self, my spiritual connection, for this feeling of rebirth that has come yesterday, this new birth. For God, in truth, there is only God and Spirit that is exploring itself. For God, that's the only thing. It's like God never wants to forget who He is, so He will continue to explore through an infinity of experiences and forms and dimensions. But we do need to remember our eternal loving relationship with our Creator, of the first source and center, at the center of infinity. There is an eternal mystery that's quite intriguing, is the origin of God. What was before God? For God is the origin, is before the origin, and after the destiny, He is the source, He is all that is, far greater, is far greater than anything we can even perceive or comprehend or understand in the physical realm. And yet there is this. So the origin of God. What was there? Was there anything happened? Because in truth, on Paradise, the Father, the Son, the Spirit, Paradise, and the central universe always have been. They're unqualified, and there's never been a time when those energies did not exist together. And yet, when we first get to Paradise, there is a story that's been told, a fictional story that's been told to mortal ascending beings, to try to make them understand the sequentiality of events that could have led to the realization. It's a fictional story, but it's like we can imagine that at some point there was God, the universal Father, the first source and center, existed alone as an unqualified infinity, and nothing else existed. And at some point, this Creator, this God, this source, this amazing life, force, eternal life, decided to manifest itself, and so it separated from himself a personal aspect, the eternal Son as an absolute personality, and the isle of light and life, Paradise, as an absolute reality that would respond to the will of the deities. So it separated the personal from the impersonal. And the tension between those three forces, the Father, the Son, and Paradise, eventuated the presence of a third deity, the conjunct actor, the infinite spirit, that actually looked at the Father and the Son's mind and plans, took on the patterns of Paradise, and created a universe, an eternal universe we call Avona. It's 1 billion perfect world in 7 concentric circles, creating the perfect universe as a perfect reflection for the satisfaction of God, to see the perfection of all that is in the reflection of that manifested central universe. And then together, the infinite spirit activated the mechanism of time and space to create the 7 super universe and the 700,000 local universe of time and space. And then beyond that, there is we can already see in our telescope amazing cluster of galaxies, transcendental universe that haven't been organized yet. They will be organized after the end of time and space. So this is a story, but what came before God? What was the origin? Is there an origin? before the present manifestation of paradise, the central universe, and the cosmos. So that's still a great mystery. And so just so I bring this up, we have to understand that as we live our life here, that every failure is actually getting closer to success. Every mistake is a chance to learn, grow, and learn, and to correct our mistakes, and every delay is an opportunity to refine our plans. So everything is actually perfect. If we can see the perfection in all things at all time, we tune in to the frequency of God, the universal, which eventually we always have to return to see that there is something that needs to be done to perfect. But the manifestation will come in different ways to different people. Right now, there is all kinds of configuration. Very powerful Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, and Jupiter is going to go retrograde as well, and the Moon will conjunct Jupiter. And so there is really an alignment of multidimensional energy. For 1111 was a master number, and Mercury retrogrades were really this Mercury retrograde really assists us in putting our life in review. Then we'll meet the Mars in Sagittarius, and on the 20th, the new moon will be in Scorpio at the 28 degrees of death and rebirth. It's going to be the darkest hour. But we've already been reborn for most of us. For ascension means accepting to let go of certain ideas, certain beliefs. Beliefs are ideas that repeat themselves, habits, pleasures, distractions, relationships, wounds. We have to trust that the new will be better. We're in a transition phase, even if the new hasn't really come up yet, manifested yet. We have to learn to let go of certain things, whatever we know, we've been told that we can do without. For ascension, it's usually something we work out for. So it takes a few lifetimes to ascend. It doesn't take just one lifetime. And many will complete this process on the other side of the veil, and many others will choose to come back to complete their ascension in the physical. But it's a very long road back to the source, so no worry. Do your best in any event, and if you're sincere, just continue to seek out to have integrity in all you do, and listen to your soul, your guidance, your heart, and because there is so much that we have to go through in that process of transmutation and purification. Yet this process has more meaning and meaning beyond our present understanding. For it is a private work that we do inside of us, and it has to be validated by the source before we can bring our light to become a public work, to standing in our light, facing the world and the matrix. Because it's easy to be zen and serene, and like when you're in a monastery or a temple on top of a high mountain in a very beautiful environment and so on. But when you're confronted to the duality of the world and all the chaos and agitation of the people of the earth, that's when the mastery is being tested. So what we seek is to bring wisdom into the collective consciousness, which is not a small task, because most people are not interested in wisdom. They're interested in whatever they're interested in. And so it's like it was the desolation of all the great masters, the Christ, the Buddha, Muhammad, all of them were like very, they were all trying to bring about this some wisdom, some light, some truth, but people were not all that interested, they were not ready. But now we're moving into a point where there is really an opening, because sometimes we have to lose something to realize its value. When we have something, we don't realize always its value. But when we lose it, we realize how valuable it was. Yet when we lose something, there is always something that comes up to replace it. So stay centered, stay aligned and ready. Tune in to stand, accept to stand as the. To realize your universality, your perfection in any given moment, and that will give you a glimpse into universal consciousness. For we are called to pass our life in review. It's like the file within the drawers of our memory, like Dante says in the Vita Nuovo. I'm going to look for in the drawers of my memory this story to to tell you. For the file within our memories, it's like some things are not really filed properly. So the things will come up until we arrange the memory in the way that it should be arranged. For the books are opening up, and there's all kinds of akashic information. There's sometimes I wonder what I've been through hell because of soul connections, like catalyst, probably not a relationship, but a catalyst for my growth. And sometimes I wonder how it will affect my akash to have been going through and to have failed to make it a relationship as well. But it's like I have to forgive myself for it. For I didn't do any bad mistakes when we were young. A lot of people make bad mistakes, but I didn't make all that many bad mistakes when I was young. I was some of them, God forgave me for it, and so it is important to accept, to forgive yourself for all the mistakes that we made when we were young. Yet I realized I wasn't really very lucky in this lifetime with deep soul connections and still valuable catalysts, but I had three deep soul connection, romantic connection. One of them is completely in my past. The second one is passing into my past, and I still have hope that the third one will actually become a relationship. But it's very important to let go of attachment, to be able to walk away from a relationship, to walk away from a deal. If there is a problem, if there is no integrity or there is a deception, it's better to prevent a problem from happening than to have to fix it. Yet it's okay to take risk. It's very important. There is no reward if you're not going to be willing to take a risk in life, and not to be over judgmental or to expect perfection from humans. It's everybody has different personal values, but nobody's perfect. We just want to align with the higher flows and higher energy, and understanding there are certain things that are completely acceptable to God, that are completely demonized in society, and there are certain things that are completely legal and accepted in society that are absolutely not acceptable to divinity. So a lot of things will change, a lot of things will come up, so we realign our values, our ideas, our thoughts, our intention, and to certain things that are completely in alignment with the law and the one, the law of the one. Well, my friends, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and not to forget to subscribe. Thank you so very much for your donations if you can. That still very much help me until I get my check. And so I'm going to pull a few cards and sing a song to finish. There's this new timeline, very exciting with I don't know how it will manifest, how or when, but it's very exciting. And it's a time of departing, and so it is ready. Spirit is keeping telling me about my luggage. I say, yeah, I'm ready. I have my luggage, but it's, to tell me that is not. But then again, things will happen. I know things will be sudden. Expect the unexpected, prepare for the unexpected, which is not easy because we can't expect the unexpected, but be ready for anything. We're still waiting for the solar flash and transformation of the monetary system, the 3 days of darkness. But from the eternal standpoint of spirit, who are seeing that coming, they're moving, they're looking at that from the eternal standpoint of from the vantage standpoint of eternity, and therefore it cannot be placed in time. It will happen only when it happens. So focalize on your own life and alignment, the direction flow of your energy, and to let go of all the imprisonment and slavery. We need to return to our sovereign self. It is very important that we transcend the limitations of the past, and so once we do that, because the door is open, we've been persecuted. We have all those traumatic memory and conscious, subconscious memory of times where we were persecuted for seeking to bring the truth. Most people who try to bring higher truth into society in the past, in this planet, in this civilization that we live in, were highly persecuted. For like Socrates, Jesus, Giordano Bruno, who was burned to the stake, even. I think it was Galileo who had to retract his series. A lot of the great master painter of the Renaissance had to burn their painting if the Vatican didn't approve them. But all of that is the past. Now we're really seeking to move into something new, something a future, a better future. And there is the Akash coming up, the Egypt. Egyptian memory. Those were very powerful times. We all had many lives in Egypt. The Egyptian civilization is a lot older than what we have been taught. The pyramids are a lot older. They're not tombstones. They have a lot more function than that, and they were created by extraterrestrials. It was the Great Pyramid was the architect was the great master Thoth from Atlantis, and they sort of they knew Atlantis would fall, so they tried to create they wanted to create a civilization that would carry some of the knowledge of eternal life, and a lot of this knowledge will come back but we already have access to the Akash through our cellular memory within each and every one of our cells. We have trillions of cells or hundreds of billions of cells. There is a DNA, and within our DNA that has been activated, there is all the black holes, white holes, blue holes that lead us to energies that can inform us of so many things. So I'm going to finish with a song. It's a song that tells us that life is not an easy flow of a river. It is more long and winding road. It's the name of the song. I'm a big fan of the Beatles. Let's sing this song. It's called A Long and Winding Road. A long and winding road, tum tum, that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always lead me here, lead me to your door. A wild and windy night, tum tum, that the rain washed away, has left a pool of tears, crying for the day. Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. Many times I've been alone, and many times I've cried. Anyway, you'll never know how many ways I've tried, and still they lead me back, tum tum, to the long winding door. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't leave me waiting here. Lead me to your door. But still they lead me back, tum tum, to the long winding road. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't keep me waiting here. Lead me to your door. We do have to trust that that everything will work out for the best at the end. Life will always adapt. Life will always find a way. And but sometimes the soul is like wants to bring us back to certain to energies, and me, I'm having a really hard time to stay connected to that soul connections that I had, because she's just the most unavoidable woman I've ever met. It's like, why? Please let me. I want to let her go. Let me go. I'm like, be well. Take care of yourself. But then again, I'm sure there's deeper meaning behind all that. So the card of the day is unity. We all one, in truth. But this unity is like in time and space. It's not always. It's a big challenge to reconcile the vertical axis with the. Eventually, it's going to be aligned. It's going to be aligned. The higher wisdom is justice. To understand there is divine justice that is returning. So try to be fair, to be square, to be honest, to be transparent always. What we need to understand is reparation. There is so much that needs to be repaired. and we'll see what happens, how it happens, and when and how. What we need to do is work. There is amazing work that is. I'm really eager to start to work. I know there's like a lot of work. I'm gonna have a project that I want to bring into the world. It's going to take me 15, 20 years of work. So to set up, after that, you will carry it yourself on. But I'm really eager to start working. And the outcome is healing. There's the sense of wholeness and to return to the state of perfect alignment and health. Well, my friends, I hope this message was interesting for you. Wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.